There we go. This is Annette Zobar from Plainfield, Illinois. I'm a QuickBooks consultant for small business, and I want to formally welcome you to the Success Partners International Training Zoom this evening. Success begins with showing up, so I'd like to congratulate you all for being on this Zoom. You made the choice to be here with your teammates. I'm going to start this evening, as we always do, sharing our signature message. We are all part of a growing team of entrepreneurs with a shared mission to protect and empower 2 million new families and small businesses with Legal Shield's network of law firms and world-class identity theft services. What we do matters, and we are looking for help. It's really important that we memorize this and personalize it so we can use bits and pieces in conversation when it's appropriate. I now have the true honor and privilege of introducing our speaker. He's a 6-figure ring earner. He's earned his platinum jacket, and he's working on his $3rd million with Legal Shield. He's generous with his time, and he's a super role model and a coach for all of us. Our leader, Mr. John Drennan.
Thanks so much, Annette. What a great job you do checking folks in. I remember when you were new in the business and kind of finding your way, and you've told your story a lot, your journey with Performance Club, but at some point you started jumping on and helping out with these Zooms and calls, and what a great job you do. And so we all appreciate that. All appreciate what you do. Thanks so much. And before I get started here, I was thinking about this literally as Annette was checking people in, that rarely do we ever find a company that can make the claim that there's nobody that does what we do. But Legal Shield can make that claim. Now, other companies offer some kind of legal services, I get it, but none offer anything close to what we do, especially to business owners. None have 24/7 emergency access. A lot of companies offer identity theft services of different kinds, but none match up with what we do. And when you combine us with the legal, nobody touches us. And then a lot of companies offer home-based income opportunities, but very few have a 48-year track record with hundreds of people who have earned 7 figures. And many people who can make the claim they've been here 20, 30, 40 years. I mean, Amway from sheer volume has those kinds of claims, but their product line is not distinct. So Legal Shield has things that are unique, and then combinations of things that are unusual that totally make Legal Shield unique. And then here we are in the presence of a virus that's turned the globe upside down, and we all understand all that. But for the need now for what we do is truly unprecedented, and especially if you own a business. I mean, I know what Timur Halligan's going through running a health club where he had to shut it down. Now he's got to start it back up, and one of his employees tested positive, and there's just so many things. I think back to when I had 20,000 square feet, 60 plus employees, 7 or 6 vans, and how we would have had to shut down production. I just don't know how business owners are doing it right now, and they sure as heck need attorneys in record numbers. And then home-based business has been a trend for decades, but now it's a new normal. But we've been doing this as a company for over 40 years, and I've been here 22 years, and I've seen people come in and make 6 figures, and make over $1 million and get to 6 figures. So we're very good at it. So we're really, 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 really positioned. Now add to it the social injustices and what's happening in the US right now with the protesting, and once and for all, it looks like finally we're going to see change in our society that's going to bring justice to everybody, not just white males. And it's pretty amazing what's going on. And that comment right there is going to kind of kick off what I want to talk about tonight. And to do that, I am going to share my screen. Hold on, please. And here we go. So first, a couple actions to do. And first, watch Jeff Bell's 5 Minutes Strong for this week. Now, it's not 5 minutes, it's about 15 minutes. But his commentary on social injustice and what's going on in this country and how Legal Shield has a place and how we and what we do can help bring about needed change it's dramatic. And so if you haven't heard that, I know it's on Legal Shield's Facebook pages. I'm not sure if it's on, and maybe someone can text me if it's on Begin the Ascent, but it's certainly easy to find on Facebook and on the Leadership Show. And so if you haven't watched it, watch it, and then ask this question: who should I send that to? Ask yourself, who should I send that to? Bear with me for a second. I'm picking up some noise here. Annette, I don't know if you're picking that up. If you could look and make sure everyone's muted. Folks, do please make sure you're muted here during this. Okay, so that's step one. These are actions to do. Listen to or watch and listen to Jeff Bell's recent 5 Minutes Strong. And as you're listening, start jotting down, who should I send this to? I did that and I sent it to my sister because I know she's somebody who really cares about what's going on right now. She literally immediately listened to it and responded very, very favorably. I think this is great potentially for maybe associates who haven't been all that active to say, look where we stand. Listen to this message from our CEO. Certainly for inactives, certainly for members who can feel proud about what they own and maybe feel more compelled to want to refer you. And certainly for prospects. So that's number one for tonight. Number two, we're asking each one of you to write a testimony on Trustpilot. And I know most of you haven't done this just because I know what I know, and I've gone and looked at them. And this testimony can be literally a couple sentences. So go ahead and take a picture here of this slide. You can see one of the reviews will be for Legal Shield and one will be for ID Shield. So why are we asking you to do this? Why is Legal Shield asking us to do this? It's to help keep the trash from trashing us when people go to search us and find out, how do we rate? And you've all seen the ratings up to 5 stars. And so the more people who go on, like I went on and rated the Legal 5 stars, and I said that my wife and I have used this well over 200 times. It's been great. It's helped us in so many ways. Then I went on and reviewed ID Shield. For us, ID Shield, I think I've gotten 7 notices since we moved. Why? Well, we've got 2 different change of addresses. We got a new mortgage. We've got new utilities, new cable. All those places check you out and you get dinged. And isn't it good that we're being watched with the identity theft? And by the way, if you're on here right now and you don't have the identity theft service, you gotta get that immediately. I mean, that's such an important part of what we offer. So again, I'm asking you, take a picture, go to each site. It might take you 2 minutes once you're on each site to go ahead and enter and submit your testimony. Again, a couple sentences, and that'll be done, and you will have contributed to that. And in fact, I'd love for you to do that and text me and just say, I did my testimonies on Trustpilot, so we can acknowledge people for doing that. And so thank you for that. And Legal Shield thanks you for that. So those are 2 action steps in kicking off tonight's training. Okay, the next thing, it says, which of the 2 following scenarios, number 1, resonate with you the most? In other words, which one, well, take that a couple ways. I'm going to ask you, which one do you feel like you're experiencing the most? That's what I mean by resonate. Which one do you feel like, wow, this is me right now? And which of the two do you prefer? And to share this, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to unshare and then share again. Maybe not. I'm not seeing it. Okay, bear with me. I need a Zoom training on how to have two PowerPoints going at once. Okay, I'll stay with this one. Okay, here we go. See which of these you prefer. Here's the first one. All right, so if that gave you a little bit of stress or headache, or you're like, oh my God, all these are aspects of what get talked about here. Here's the second one. That's the process we introduced in April, 4 steps, easy to learn, easy to do, easy to teach. It's just easy. So I'm going to back this up because I want you to ask yourself again, you know, which one is you and which one do you prefer? So here we go. Or this one. Now, obviously, there is more to our business than these 4 things, but these 4 things are what create the income and create the business. And the other things can be learned along the way, primarily from showing up. That's why showing up means so much. Showing up it's where we get exposed to everything and learn everything. But we need to do that in its proper time. We can't learn it all at once. We can't be doing it all at once. I'm in my 22nd year and I've never done the CDLP training. And that, you know, I'm doing fine without that. And, you know, maybe that's been a mistake, but I can't think of a trucker business plan I've ever missed out on. Whereas I couldn't say that about small business or recruiting. And my point is, there's just so many things that can take our focus. These 4 things here can grow you a business, and over time, from showing up and just by being in the activity of the business, you learn all the things you need to learn. Okay, next. Most of you know that we've got a big day coming up July 11th. And so let's, you know, we're a couple weeks ahead of this, a few weeks. So let's have a strategy for this. So first of all, here's what we know. At least here's what I know based on what I've heard. And if I had details, I'd give them to you, but I'm giving you what I've heard. As we go into the 3rd quarter, as we go into July, there's going to be some big announcements July 1st. And I believe those are going to move us to July 11th and give us a start on some things that will be in play for the months of July, August, and September. I believe that's what we're going to see on July 1st. On July 11th, we're going to see a Legal Shield company-wide Super Saturday done virtually, and they're calling it almost a mini convention. And we all know our April convention was done virtually. It was over a couple of days and it went great. Well, this is going to be, last I heard, 4 hours. Maybe they'll make it more or less, but figure about 4 hours on Saturday, July 11th. From noon to 4 is the time frame I've heard, but again, that could change. But that day, we're going to see some real game change. I don't know what we're going to see, but we're going to see some things that are going to have a lot of meaning to all of us. There's been great, the idea of being a senior director and Performance Club Pro this month going into July has been emphasized big time. So anybody who's anywhere close to that, I highly suggest you go for it. Now, I actually want to commend Danny Godin, who I believe is on this Zoom, associate from Colorado, who has, like a lot of you, built a team over time, but a lot of people haven't stuck, or they're inactive, or they kind of come and go. So most of her production right now as a director is her. But she's had people who have come in the business and do things, and she's got people that'll put in memberships. Well, she took a look at it and said, okay, I've got about a week to go. I can really go for it here. And I think by communicating with different people in my organization, maybe I can pick up a membership here and a membership here and a membership here and a membership here. You know, if you do that enough times, if you've got 10 people who agree that they'll go for it for 40 points, you know, what's 40? Well, it's kind of a midway between a legal plan and a combo family plan with one of the supplements. So 10 people doing 40 points, that's 400 points. That's just 300 away from senior director, and Danny can go for it and get those 300. So regardless of who you are, there's a way to look at this and slice it. Maybe you've got one active associate and you look that person in the eye and say, can you go for it this month and pull in 350 premium? And if they do it and you do it, then, and you're a director, that makes you senior director. So I challenge everyone to take a look at that. You know, unless you're brand new or something, just take a look at that and ask yourself, what would have to happen to finish this month senior director and PC Pro? Okay, so here we are, July 11th. So if you look at this slide, realize the importance of the day. And what I mean by that, the importance of the day is whenever big things get announced and whenever there's a high impact event, which this will be, it moves people to action. It stimulates people. And that's been proven. We've seen that for years. I mean, we've heard countless people say, it was the convention that lit my fire, and that's why I became a Millionaire Club member. So realize the importance of the day to impact our business. And to do this, think about leverage. First of all, the leverage of an active associate going into real duplication. And again, these kinds of events do that a lot. They take someone from PC to PC Pro, or take someone to say, you know what, I've been director too long, I'm going senior director. I've been senior manager too long, I'm going to director. So it can ignite an active associate into real duplication. And then it can take the less active associates into engaging, into activity. So having one person participate July 11th matters. Having several people can really matter. Because think of it, if you could just take one person who's maybe not fully turned on and they get fully turned on, that could completely shift your business. One person could get you out of director into senior director. Okay, so initiate a strategy to maximize the day. Typically, we wait too long to talk about this, but there's some time right now to initiate a strategy to maximize July 11th. And a good starting point is, how many people do you want to attend? Now, if you're newer and you've got a very small team, you might say 3. Might say, gee, I don't even have anyone on my team that I can count on there. But you got still time to recruit people, or maybe go back to somebody. So maybe your number's 3, or maybe you've been around for a while and you've got some active associates and many on the fence, many inactive. You might say, my number's 12. Or maybe you've been around quite a while. You've hit senior director or ED. You got hundreds in your downline. You might say, my number's 25. Just keep in mind, you get 100 people to a big event, you will hit 6 figures. You can consider this a big event. Can you get 25 people there? If you get 25 there representing 3 or more legs, you got a shot at the $50,000 ring. So start with, how many people do you want to have attend, and do not put the number 0. Don't even allow that option that it's just you. Secondly, make a list of everyone you want to invite. Start with your most active associates to make sure they're locked in, and challenge them with this. Were they on the training tonight? Did they hear this information? What's their goal? If you've got active associates, then, and I'll take the example, Annette, who introduced me tonight, she's an active associate. Her upline needs to know, how many people, Annette, do you want to have attend? Because that aggregate for her upline all gets added together. So if you've got a couple of associates on here thinking about this who say, hey, I want to have 5, I want to have 10, that 15 combines with the rest of yours to give you your number. So make a list of everyone you want to invite, and start with inventory your active associates, and then go to your less active all the way down to your inactives and start there. And then go to members that you might want to invite and say, hey, will you look at our business, since you've got the membership and have enjoyed it, will you look at our business and think about who you might refer that's looking for home-based income? And they might say, well, that would be me. Say then, oh my God, the timing then is perfect, because our company's going to really describe some amazing things on July 11th. Okay, next it would be prospects, and so on. It might be family members who aren't working with you, but you might say, would you mind coming on watching this just to get stimulated on what we do, and maybe recommend some or refer some people my way. Okay, next, start connecting with these people by text, email, voicemail, and or Facebook Messenger, and just do a save the date. Just put it out there. Something big's happening July 11th. I'll get you more information, but will you go to your calendar and put in the afternoon of July 11th? And then plan to send an invitation right after the close of this month, right around July 2nd, July 3rd. And at that point, we should have the details. Again, they're going to come out July 1st with announcements. And I think at that point, we'll have the details where you can send a real invite. And as a team, we intend to have some things you can send out via text to help with that. Okay, so I'm really taking time on this tonight because I know the significance of this. I feel like in the past, maybe we've waited too long to talk about things like this, but we always talk about leverage and the importance of leverage. July 11th is a leverage day. So if you need to take a picture of this, if you haven't, go ahead and do it. And with that, I'm going to stop the share here. Okay. I'm going to invite you right now, anybody that's got questions on any of these screens or anything I talked about, I'm going to invite you, go ahead and unmute yourself and come on here and go ahead and ask your question. Or if you have a comment specific to any of these things, maybe Trustpilot or the Jeff Bell, maybe you've already gotten some leverage from that. I welcome you to either make your comment or ask your question. Anyone want to kick this off?
Hey, John, it's Jane Lehman. Kicking off with Trustpilot. I went on there. I think I put my review right after you. I'm not sure. But just to remind people not to sound like an associate when we do that, it's important that we give a member story, because I know we did that once for one of the other side, I forget, Yelp maybe. And people were putting things on about what an incredible business or something it was. No, that's not the kind of, that's not what we want to do.
So glad you brought that up. Yeah, absolutely. This is through the eyes of a customer experiencing the service. So after you've written it, read it through the eyes of someone, that it's being written by a customer, not a sales rep. For sure, don't mention the business, the income, anything that sounds the least bit that you're an associate. Great comment. Okay, who's next? I'm going to check the chat box here.
Stacy Lynn here. Hello.
Go ahead. Hey.
Well, speaking of that, the Trustpilot thing, I did write reviews on both of those things, and I didn't mention I was an associate, and I wrote testimonials like everybody else I saw. And I went in the following week, and my reviews were gone. I posted it in the Facebook group for Legal Shield, asking, if they knew what was going on, and they said that they would get back to me, and nobody ever did. So I just wanted to share that was my experience. So,
Okay. I don't really know what to do with that, but good job going in there and doing it. I know they are aggregating these, and it's real important for us to do this. So, okay, who's next? Anyone else got any comments or questions? Okay, well, the thing I talked about on the July 11th, we are definitely going to be talking about on our stretch calls. So in wrapping up tonight, a couple things. Number one, our stretch calls for people who are really engaging now, we are seeing shifts in their business. And when I say really engaging, back in April, when we pivoted and made some changes, we said, let's make the stretch calls about declaring on Monday what our intentions are for the week, and then tracking in those 4 categories that were up on the earlier slide, and just report daily, here's what I did. And then there's other value in the stretch call, but now we've got people literally sharing every day, and the people who are doing that are seeing an uptick in their business. So if you're available, join us on the stretch calls. Also, we're doing now the 10 Zooms a week, every day at 12:30, membership and member perks. We've gotten so much great feedback on that and doing that, because now we can invite anybody. We don't have to ever wonder, oh, is the business going to turn this person off, which is a concern for all of us with some prospects. So 12:30 Eastern time, you don't need to worry about that. And it's only 15 minutes. So you can easily say to someone, hey, would it work for you to grab some lunch at 12:30 tomorrow and come on and watch a Zoom and see some really incredible value in what we're doing for people and for businesses? Then we're promoting at 12:30 that, hey, if you liked what you saw, we're doing it again tonight if you want to bring a spouse or a friend. And for those who really see there's value here, we're looking for help. So tonight, we're also going to talk about our home-based income option. And so each event, like tonight, I did the 8 o'clock. Well, I promoted that, hey, if you decide to join us, you could literally get paid advance and bonus tomorrow if you have a handful of people that come on at 12:30 to learn about our services. So take advantage of these things. These are leverage points for your business. So with that, that's all for tonight. I commend you for being on. Hope you can join us on the stretch call tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern, with Lynette McKinley as our host. So everyone take care. Have a great night, and good night.